Troy Thomas works every day because he grew tired of smoking marijuana and selling cocaine.
I just wasn't going to lose anymore. Might as well say I was labeled a loser just dealing with it. At any point, any form, if you're buying, you're selling, you're a loser. Ask me.
When Troy was a loser, he blamed other people. Now that he's winning, he accepts full responsibility for his past mistakes.
You must blame yourself for every situation you get yourself in, not society, not the man next door, not the girl upstairs.
How does a once troubled black man like Troy turn his life around, start a successful business? He made a commitment to himself to change, and Troy got lots of support from Genesis.
Quitters never win. I'll never quit, you know? I'm going to win. Believe that. I'm going to win.
In order to win, these black men must work, says John Gall.
If you get a black man employed at a meaningful job, he doesn't have time for all the other misdemeanors he's going to go through.
Gall helped create Genesis. For 20 years, he has sat on the board of the Winton Hills Medical Center. He's seen the explosion of fatherless homes in Winton Terrace and decided something had to be done to help black males.
If they will make the commitment, if they will attend the meetings and be serious about turning their lives around, we will find them meaningful jobs.
Calvin Williams directs Genesis.
So I can sell to that employer a man who is ready to work, understands the value of work, understands that if he has to be there at 8 o'clock, he has to be there at 8 o'clock, who understands that there should be no reason for you to miss work.
One of those men is Steve Osley. Steve's biggest problem was a lack of motivation, but he's changed. Queen City Sausage has hired him.
He's been a good worker.
Dave Dramus of Queen City Sausage is impressed with Steve Osley as a worker.
Has Steve shown up on time?
Yes, he has.
Sometimes attitude is a problem. Has his attitude been good?
Been real good. Real good. I was talking to him this morning, and he seems to be excited about what he's doing, you know.
When Genesis places its committed men in jobs, its reputation is on the line. It expects them to give up being slick and dishonest. It expects them to be responsible and reliable. It has faith in them. Genesis had so much faith in Troy Thomas, it loaned him money to start a business with another Genesis man, Jerry Richards.
They gave us a chance to prove our skills.
Jerry and Troy are only two of these successes at Genesis. In fact, 45 of the first 50 Genesis men now have jobs. Men who used to be a drain on taxpayers have paid more than $250,000 in taxes.
If a guy's paying his own way, he doesn't need any governmental support.
John Gall chairs the Genesis Board of Directors.
What does this cost the taxpayer?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. We are supported by charitable foundations. The local, state, city, federal have not even volunteered $1, and we don't want it. We don't need it.
I would hope that people would see Genesis as a major way of addressing the major problems that are before us in this city and in this country and in this society.
Bishop Herbert Thompson of the Episcopal Diocese of Southern Ohio, he says Genesis works.
And the men who come out are responsible, they're dependable, they're good workers, and they're productive, and we all benefit in the long run.
But some Genesis men are not serious about turning their lives around.
In the communities that these men are growing up in, their physical growth goes on while their mental growth is stunted at about 8 to 13 years.
Williams says some of the men, just like kids, believe being slick and dishonest are acceptable ways to act.
So you have a 25 or 30-year-old man who really looks at life, whether he wants to admit it or not, like a 13-year-old boy. Everything has to be a get-over, a con.
And some of those Genesis men fail because they say they're committed to change, but their actions show they're not. That's when Genesis gets in their faces, confronts them, lets them know they're wrong. Genesis had to get in Joe Davenport's face.
What has been my thing is trying to get housing. I'm homeless right now.
Joe came to the group homeless and jobless. He said he wanted to work. Genesis helped him get hired at Queen City Sausage. Then Joe quit before he ever got started. Why?
What I'm trying to do is I'm getting more in touch with myself, more being realer with myself.
Joe's excuses stun his Genesis brothers.
And once I get my relationship right, spiritually with God, then I'm ready to deal with a job. Because right now I can't handle a job. I'll be honest with you. I cannot handle the routine right now.
You're going to have to check the board at the door.
Genesis does not buy Joe's excuses. Director Calvin Williams makes sure Joe knows he made a huge mistake.
You want a soft sell, you want to be rubbed and stroked, and I understand. Yeah, I understand. I understand it's time for the individual to do something about himself. I said it before and I'll say it again. You know, there's all kind of programs out there where they just pat you on the back and throw you a few bucks and explain why you're in a miserable position. But you know, I'll be damned if there ain't room for a program that says if you want to get busy, let's get busy.
After this Genesis meeting, we asked Joe just one question. How is it a man who is homeless and jobless decides to turn down a job?
Dealing with so many social organizations, I just got to the point where I'm just tired of people giving me things. You know, I'm tired of people giving me stuff. You know, I'm tired of these organizations just always handing me something out. I want to be independent.
Eventually, Joe did find a job on his own. He's working maintenance for the Advantage Burns Janitorial Supply Company. Joe says he'll keep the job as long as he can. Troy and other Genesis men encouraged Joe to keep working. Troy has discovered that working a legal, meaningful job every day instead of illegally earning lots of money has helped save him.